This is Matt with Survival Garden Seeds. Today we're going to be talking about how to prune a tomato plant. Before you get started cutting, it's important to know that there are two different types of tomato plants. There are determinate tomato plants and indeterminate. Determinate plants will grow to a set height and then stop. An indeterminate plant, however, will continuously grow into a larger plant. Indeterminate plants are the type of tomato plants that you'll want to do the most pruning on. However, the bottom leaves that are touching the ground should be pruned on both types of plants. There are 4 parts of a tomato plant that you should know before pruning. There's the main stem, sun leaves, the fruiting body, and what are known as suckers. So before you get started, it's important to sterilize your shears so you don't introduce any bacteria into the pruned spots. So we're going to start down low, pruning off any yellowing or brown leaves that may be touching the ground, or might be touching the ground soon when they grow a little bit bigger.
You just want to make a quick snip close to the stem
to remove any yellowed or discolored leaves.
Another thing to know is that tomatoes love some airflow, as this prevents disease. So pruning to allow about a fist-sized amount of space in between branches encourages enough airflow to prevent disease. All right, that's it for the low ones. Now we're going to be pruning the suckers. And you want to be careful when deciding which branches to prune, because you wouldn't want to prune a main branch that will be a productive one and yield fruit. A sucker, as they're commonly known as, will form in the fork of the main stem and a sunleaf. And it's actually interesting. The sucker will produce all of the components of the tomato plant as kind of like a whole new plant growing off of it. So you'll get a sunleaf, a fruiting body, and everything. It's not really efficient for the tomato plant at this stage to be putting all this energy into starting a brand new section. So what we're going to do is we're going to prune those back so that the tomato can focus its energy on the existing sun leaves and then producing those lovely tomatoes that we're looking for. So they form right at the fork of a main stem and a sun leaf, and you can see right there is a little sucker. And we're just going to come in and give it a quick snip. So in pruning, it's important not to go overboard, as that can really stress a plant out. So you'd only want to prune back about 30% of the plant in one go at it. If the plant is overgrown and needs a lot of pruning work done, I would give it about a week before you go out and do a second round of pruning. It's okay to kind of come back and do it in multiple stages, but you don't want to stress the plants out too much. So in pruning, don't get rid of the suckers that you cut off. Because these actually contain all the components of a full-grown tomato plant, you can replant these. So what you would do is you would clip the sucker, bury it in soil up to the first leaf, and then these will start new tomato plants. This can be really important in case you experience crop failure due to some pests or environmental conditions or something like that. You have a backup of viable plants ready to go. Now, as the season's winding down and you're completing your harvest, it would be wise to top your plants, which is essentially pruning the terminal shoot above your last blossoms. And what this does is it stops the plant from growing taller and growing more, because any fruit produced from that part of the plant probably is going to be killed by frost, and you're not going to actually be able to harvest it. So it encourages the energy to be focused on the plants and the fruit that are actually going to be able to be harvested this year. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this video on pruning your tomatoes helpful. You can find more at Survival Garden Seeds.